Last week, I tried an experiment where I slept on the floor for 7 days. No mattress, no pillow, no sheets, no blankets. And the purpose behind this was twofold. Firstly, to practice stoicism, that is, being comfortable in the uncomfortable. Voluntarily subjecting myself to discomfort so that when I'm involuntarily thrown into discomfort, I'm able to handle it. And secondly, to be more grateful for my bed, sheets, mattress, pillow, etc. I couldn't even get through one night. On the first night, I woke up at midnight, absolutely freezing, and I had to get up and put a blanket over me. The next day, I woke up with a cold. But this was okay, because I was going to push forward and continue. Flash forward to night 2, and I failed again. This time, I tried to cheat by using a bigger blanket so I could have some cushioning underneath me as well. This didn't really help because every time I moved, even a tiny bit, I woke up. And the next morning, I woke up even sicker. Oh, and my period decided to join me on this adventure. Safe to say, I was not having a good time. It got to night 3 and I had to make a decision. Am I going to push my body and force myself to use my restful time that is supposed to be a recovery period in a state of stress and discomfort? Or should I put my health first and call it a night? Literally. I decided to call it a night. And the next morning, I actually woke up feeling so much better physically. I was on the road to recovery, but my mind was a completely different story. I felt like an absolute failure. I felt so small and pathetic because I couldn't even handle some small discomfort for a short amount of time. And if I can't handle this voluntary discomfort, how on earth am I going to handle discomfort that I don't willingly choose? And I felt so embarrassed. I had told people that I was undergoing this experiment, and even that didn't hold me accountable. I then had to go and explain to them why I had stopped this experiment. But when I did, they were actually really happy that I stopped. They thought it would be really stupid for me to continue. Why would I put a week-long experiment in front of my health? So I walked away from these conversations knowing I had made the right decision in stopping. But why did I feel like a giant idiot of a failure? I think it's because I set these huge expectations for myself, which I believed that I should be able to live up to. And I find this so easy to do when I'm surrounded by thousands of people sharing their best of the best. I watch people wake up at 4 a.m. and say that they thrive off this lifestyle. But when I try and do it, I can't. I don't get to bed early enough, I sleep in, or I get up, but then I'm too tired to function for the rest of the day. I've tried different dietary choices, exercise regimes, and ways of thinking that work for so many others. But for some reason, they don't work for me. I don't feel well on a vegan diet. I absolutely hate running. And this book just does not inspire me. And don't get me wrong, there have been a lot of things that I've tried that have worked out really well, and I've experienced all the amazing benefits that people have talked about. But as I learn and grow and try more things, it would be really unrealistic of me to expect that I would experience life-changing results from each habit. I have limits, and these limits are tried and tested in all of these experiments that I undertake. But when I reach them, unless it's at the end of an experiment, it often doesn't feel like a success to me. But it should be, right? With each of these experiments, or quite frankly, any choice I make in my life, I'm taking a leap of faith in an effort to improve myself. It takes guts and motivation to undergo something out of my normal routine and voluntarily put myself in a less than ideal situation. But instead of acknowledging this as an achievement in itself, because without putting myself out there, I wouldn't have achieved anything, I knock myself down because I didn't live up to these expectations I set for myself. And when I decided to stop this experiment, I was thinking about why I felt this way. Why I love a positive mindset, yet find it so easy to drag myself through the dirt at the same time. And I believe it's because I compare myself to others. And upon thinking about it, I actually compare myself to others a lot, especially when I'm looking for new ways to improve myself. I come across these people that seem perfect and like they're doing all the right things. And if I do the habits that they love, then I'll be like that as well. But when doesn't work out that way for me, which is more often than not, I am so deeply disappointed and blame myself. But here's the thing, just because something works for someone else does not mean that it's going to work for me. I have my own limits that no one else can determine. I know how hard and far I can push myself. I know that I thrive off the diet that I eat now, feel best when I wake up with the sun, and have variety in my exercise regime. So there's no point in comparing myself to someone that lifts weights, because that lifestyle just doesn't work for me. In fact, I really wouldn't be surprised if I tried an experiment where I only lifted weights and failed at it, because that lifestyle just isn't for me, and that's okay. So what if I couldn't sleep on the floor for a week? Does that mean I'm lazy, stupid, a princess, or a failure? No. I could be one of those things, but not because of this. And look, I'm a fairly stubborn person, so I don't doubt that I'll be tackling this experiment again in the near future. But I thought this topic was something important to share with you and to talk about my thought process and how I'm feeling. Failure isn't always an option, but getting back up is. And I want to let go of my comparative mindset and trust that what I'm doing is right for me. And that's something that only I can determine. Okay, so that wraps this video up. Thank you so much for watching. I really hope you found value in it and that you enjoyed it. If you have any recommendations for when I do undergo this experiment, please let me know. And the same goes for any experiments you think would be valuable for me to tackle. I upload new videos every Thursday and I can't wait to see you on the next one. Bye!